Hi, I'm Ricky Tate, Internet Communications 1010, Section 061, Persuasive Speech. Today I want to talk to you about going green. Now, just what does that really mean? Basically, it means doing whatever we can do to conserve our natural resources and doing whatever we can do to prevent contamination to our air, water, and soil. But why should you care about this? Are we really going to be around long enough for this to make a difference in our lifetimes anyway? Maybe not. But we do have children and grandchildren who will be affected by what we do today. Let's look at what would happen if we used up all of our natural forest products. What if we contaminated all of our water sources? What if all the landfills are full? Do we bulldoze our national parks and recreation areas? Do we bulldoze our national forests to make more landfills? And what happens after they're filled and they're covered with dirt? Does that make them more safe to use for other reasons? Do you really want to live, work, and play on top of a landfill? I don't, and I don't want my children to either. So what can we do? Well, we could do the ultimate going green thing, and we could make all of our homes solar powered. We could drive hybrid vehicles. We could grow all of our own fruits and vegetables. We could build windmills to harness power from the wind. But is that really feasible? Not for most of us. However, there are some things that we can do pretty painlessly and effectively to help conserve our natural resources. The first thing we want to look at is the shopping bag. Now, I know you've all seen these reusable shopping bags, so why do we not use them? These bags have some advantages. They're bigger than the plastic bags. They are sturdier. They hold more. You're less likely to have a rip and spill things when you're getting things out of the car. Actually, they're machine washable, so if they get dirty, you just throw them in the laundry with the rest of your clothes and they're good to go. But why not use the plastic bags? What's wrong with them? Actually, the American Plastics Council say that the plastic bags have taken over 80% of the grocery and convenience store market since they were introduced a quarter century ago. These bags are cheap to produce, they're plentiful, they're easy to carry and store, and for that reason they're everywhere. They hang on the pantry door, which we take others and stuff them inside and save them for whatever purpose we're going to use them for. They line our trash bins in our bathrooms. They are in the trees, they are in the breeze, they're on the rivers, they're on the waterways, they're in the bellies of the sea turtles, they clog the roadside drains, they're everywhere. When they get into the environment, they take years to biodegrade. And when they do decompose, they release toxins into the water and the soil. So this causes illnesses and cancers and birth defects in our children and our grandchildren and generations to come. These are things we want to prevent. Another thing we can do is when we want to use disposable tableware, the best thing to use are the paper products, the paper plates, the paper cups, the paper bowls. These things, yes, they're going to end up in the landfill just like the styrofoam and plastic, but they are much more biodegradable than the styrofoam and plastic. When plastic biodegrades, it actually releases dioxin that is a leading cause of breast cancer in women. So for that reason alone, we want to avoid putting plastic in our landfills. They take years and years and years to biodegrade. Another thing we can do, and this is a very significant thing, is to stop buying bottled water. Do you realize that it takes 30 gallons of water to produce one bottle of bottled water? That's in the processing plant, in processing, and in what is actually put into the bottle. The best thing to do is for us to carry our own refillable bottles. And you know, these come in all shapes and sizes. You can get the cute ones or the plain ones, the insulated ones or not. Plastic bottles fill our landfills. 90% of these bottles are never recycled. This is one of the highest sources of dioxin in our soil. Again, I tell you, dioxin is a leading cause of breast cancer in women. And is this water any better for us than our tap water? Is it actually purer and safer? The answer to that is no. Actually, the United States Environmental Protection Agency's standards for tap water is much more stringent than the Food and Drug Administration standard for bottled water. Some bottled water actually is tap water in disguise. Do you realize that there are manufacturers out there who fill these bottles with plain tap water, slap a label on it, and sell them to us? That actually does happen. In the United States alone, in 2004, we Americans consumed 41 billion gallons of bottled water. This is a vast consumption of our natural resources. This is a large quantity of garbage and things that go into the landfill. Bottled water in the industrialized world is actually no safer than tap water. Sometimes it's less safe than tap water. And it costs up to 10,000 times what tap water costs. At a cost of $2.50 per liter, that's $10 a gallon, bottled water costs more than the gasoline that you put in your vehicle. I personally did not realize that. And as I told you, 90% of these bottles are never recycled. Therefore, they are out there in the environment, in the landfill, and they're just waiting to make us sick and give us our children birth defects and cause a lot of problems. The next thing I want you to look at is the compact fluorescent light bulbs. These bulbs are a very good way to have a positive effect on our environment. Not only are they environmentally friendly, they are cost-effective for you. That is one of the biggest reasons you might want to consider using these compact fluorescent light bulbs. This is a 15-watt bulb that actually gives off as much illumination as the 60-watt bulb. It's 15 watts. That means it uses 75% less energy. That reduces your electric bill. It conserves our energy. It conserves our electrical power. What if you replaced every light bulb in your home with these bulbs? That would be a significant cost-saving effect for you over a period of time. This bulb alone will save you $35 on your electric bill over the lifespan of that bulb. And these bulbs actually last 10 times longer than the regular incandescent light bulb. The last thing I want to encourage you to do is to conserve energy use in your home. This is really easy. It's not time-consuming. It's not expensive. It doesn't cost you anything. It actually saves you. All you have to do is turn off those lights when you leave the room. However, if you're planning to return to that room within the next 30 minutes, it really is more energy efficient to leave that light on. If you, however, are leaving that room and you're not planning to return anytime soon, go ahead and turn it off. Turn off your computers when you leave home in the mornings to come to work. There's really no reason for it to run all day when no one's there to use it. Unplug those small appliances. This is can openers, toasters, toaster ovens, curling irons, electric curlers, all of these little things, electric razors, things that we don't use, but we often leave them plugged in. Cell phone chargers. I know I've been guilty of leaving mine plugged in all the time, even when the phone's not connected to it. Even when these things are not in use, they still consume a small amount of energy. That's not a huge energy waste, but if you look at it combined over a significant period of time, it does become a large energy waste. We need to conserve everything that we can. These are just a few things that we can easily do in our own homes today to conserve our natural resources. So what I'm asking you today is to think about what you've heard. Think about the kind of planet that we're going to leave our children, and do you really want to have that legacy left on your name? Conservation is not something that can be accomplished behind closed doors. It takes public awareness and attention, and it takes activity and participation on everyone's part. So I encourage you today to do your part, educate your family and friends, and encourage them to join the effort. Let's make this a safer, brighter place to leave the generations to come. Thank you.
Very informative. Thank you. I didn't know most of that stuff.